Hello students, today we are here to learn the practical of the t-test. As already we have learned about the t-test, we are aware of the formula that whenever we have the small population and we are testing for the hypothesis of mean, whether the mean is for the population or not, or either we are working for one mean or two mean, we have to go for the t-test. And what the rule is, we have to write down h naught and ha, and we have to go for the t statistic, and the formula is saying we have x bar minus mu divided by s by under root n. So already we have discussed about what is our x bar. It is the sample mean, mu is the population means, s is the standard deviation, and what is n? N is the sample size. And one more thing that we have learned about is df, which is the degree of freedom, which is n minus 1. If your sample size is n, your degree of freedom is n minus 1. So taking care of all these things, we have to calculate the value of t, and then we have to make out the decision by comparing the t standard with the t calculated. So let us start with the examples. Here we have already discussed about the example, so I'm not emphasizing more about the example because already we have learned about it. Let us start working on how to do the calculation on the Excel. Here I am using the Android Open Office, which is installed in my mobile, and I am showing this and recording this all on my mobile. So let us start with the first thing is the data is given to us. 1 2 3 4 5 6 values are there. N is 6 we have been provided, and the first thing we have to go for the t-test is we need the mean and the standard deviation. So already we know that in theory if we are doing, we have to calculate x bar by summation of all divided by the sum. How many total samples are there? So it is 6. So we are getting 20, and regarding the standard deviation, we are getting the value by the formula. Now let us see how to do the same thing in the Open Office or the Excel. If we start with the values we have, let me write down along with so that it will be helpful for us to go for the calculation. We have 17, 33, 12. Let me write down. Here I am going to write on the values using the keyboard. This is my keyboard. We have 17, 23. Okay, so these are the values I have written for calculation of the mean and standard deviation: 17, 33, 12, 20, 13 and 25, all written in a column. And if I have to calculate the mean, let me write down in one of the cell. Now how we have to write down? We have to start with the formula always with is equal to. So if we write down is equal to, and we know for the mean we have the formula average. It's already showing me in the help section, means it's by default coming here average, and then we have to enter the number. So what I have to do, I have to select all these values starting from 33 to okay, it's up to 25, correct? It's not so easy because we are not habitual to that, but let us do it, and when we practice we will get it. So this my value 20, you can see here. Let me show you where the formula you can verify. Okay, here is the formula average that we are using, and this is the value I am getting, correct? So this is what we have. The average is coming as 20. Similarly, if I have to calculate the standard deviation, here I will start again with the keyboard is equal to, let me write down, is equal to, the formula is starting with STDEV. So ST, here I am not taking the whole calculation because it's not easy to perform here, but already we have done the calculation of the mean and standard deviation manually here on the system also. Here I am using the inbuilt function. So STDEV, and if we go through, we know the values are lying in the range of A1, A2, A3 and so on. Here I have to go for so this is what we have the formula, and if I enter it, I am getting the value of 7.9498, and it is I think the same we are getting there on the slides. Let us check what is the next step. So we have calculated t till the mean and the standard deviation, or the next step is to find out the value of t, and t is equal to x bar minus mu divided by s by under root n. We have calculated s and x bar, and what is the value of mu? Mu is already given to us as 15 and is given to us as 6. So let us go back and find out the calculation of t in Excel. If we go here, we have to calculate is equal to, and one more thing let us do, let us write down somewhere the value of mu. So let me write down mu is given to us as 15, and if we talk about n is given to us as 6. So these are the values given to us, and what we have to calculate, we have to calculate t, correct? So if we have to calculate t, we need numerator and denominator. Now it is up to your choice how you're going to calculate. Let me do it in two parts. Let me first calculate the numerator and the denominator, and then after I will use the value to calculate t. So in the numerator what we have, x bar minus mu, so we have to write down is equal to, x bar means we have calculated 20, correct? 20 minus mu is 15. If I press enter, we will get the numerator part. Similarly in the denominator part is equal to, we have s bar divided by under root of n. So s value we have calculated is this, and we have to divide it by square root. sqrt is for the square root, it's an inbuilt function, bracket under root of n, square root of n is our 6. Close the bracket, press enter. So it's coming as a denominator. Now what next, we need the value of t. So here I will write down t, and how we can get it, we have to calculate is equal to numerator, it's only numerator, sorry, numerator, it's highlighted. Okay, I think again I have done a mistake. Let's reframe it, is equal to numerator. Now it's correct, yes, it's correct now, divided by denominator. So this is my denominator, enter, and we are getting the value of t as 1.54, and I think it is the same what we are getting there. So this is only the work we have to do on the Excel for the t test. After that we have to make the decision manually, and whenever we are going for the practical, you have to do the calculation, and the given items you have to write down there on the screen, and after that you have to write down H0 HA carefully on your answer sheet along with the decision. You can do in the practical all these things on screen as well as on your notebook provided to you, correct? So this is about the first example. Now let us go through the next example. And one more thing, here I have not discussed about the hypothesis, how to frame. For that part, if you have missed, you can refer to the last video that we have uploaded regarding the t-test for 1 mean and the 2 mean. Correct? So today we are only learning about the Excel. Let us start with the next example. Here we have been provided with the data. Okay, I think it's the same one that we have. This is the second example. Now here what the difference is, here we have been provided that in a sample of 8 patients, means n is given to us, mean DMFT value means sample value, sample mean, so x bar is given to us as 10.3. the standard deviation, what we have to denote, this is s, so s is given to us as 7.3, and we have to compare it with the mu value which is 9 at level 10% level of significance. Again you can see here, as a first step you have to do in theory, you have to frame your H0 and HA, and you have to use this formula, x bar minus mu divided by s by under root n, and here it's coming as 0.503. let us go to the Excel and find out that we will get there or not. So let's go here in the second sheet. You can browse it, but I am using the sheet because it's easy. For one example I am using one. Let us write on the given things. We have been provided with n, we have x bar, so I can write down x as mean. You can write down MEAN whole also. This is s, the standard deviation, and the population mean is mu, so I have written mu because it's not easy to work with the symbol here. So here n is given as 8, the mean is given as 10.3, s means the standard deviation is given as 7.3, and mu is given as 9. So how we are going to calculate? Again we need to calculate the numerator part, we need to calculate the denominator part. Numerator means we have to go for is equal to x bar, which is your mean, x bar minus mu, so x bar minus mu, this is my numerator, press enter. For denominator part we have again s by under root n, so this is my is equal to, this is our s divided by, we have sqrt square root of n. Now where is our n? Here, 8, correct? And you can see that whenever I am pressing it, it is highlighted here, just in order to show you. Here see, it's 8, it's being highlighted, and the formula is appearing here on the cell as well as is appearing on the address bar. Correct. So this is how we are working for. Correct. So if we press enter here, let's take the keyboard again, we are getting the value as 2.58 for the denominator. It's not t. Let's calculate the final answer of t. We have calculated in parts, so it is equal to numerator, it's highlighted as d1 is the cell address, divided by the denominator. I think it's correct, d2. If I press enter, we are getting the value of 0.503. So this is again we have calculated for the second example t by taking numerator and denominator, and let us check the value is coming correctly or not. So if you see here, the t value is 0.503. So I think we have done the correct calculation, and this t value at the standard value, if might be you are looking for that how we are getting this value, which we have written here as 1.33. so this value will be either provided to you from your examiner, and if you are doing some problem of your own, then you have to look at the appendix of your stats book. Correct. If you have the internet, you can open the Google, and there you can type down the t value at 10% level of significance, one tail. I think already we are aware of the one tail and two tail. Again, let me tell you, one tail means if you are taking the one of the conditions greater than, equal to, less than, or less than equal to. So all are falling in the one region. If it is greater than, it's fall in this region. If it is less than, it will fall in another region. And what if we are talking about equal to and unequal to sign, so it is falling in both of the regions symmetrically on both of the sides, so that is known as a two-tail test. Already we have discussed about it, so hope so you will go through it. Now let us take another example. Here we have that a pulse rate of a man on a different days is given 60. Let me write down on the Excel, and will show it to you how we have calculated the data. It's a large data, but let us try, and hopefully we will be able to do it in the Android phone. Let us discuss about it. Here what things are given. Mu is given to us as 65. We have to do the calculation. Here you can see x is coming as 67.5, and the standard deviation is coming as 2.79. Then we have to calculate the value of t, and it's coming as 2.82. so actually we have to practice this calculation on Excel. So let's go back there. Let's start with the next example, sheet 3, and let us type down the values. So here I have entered the values in the first column, and there are 10 values going from 66 to 68. If you can see, I have typed just values. Now we are going to calculate, because the data is given. There are two cases. When data is given, we have to calculate the mean and the standard deviation, and when the data is not given directly, might be the values given, then we have to use it. Correct. So let me write down what are the required things. We need x bar. For x bar I am writing out x, standard deviation s. For mu I am writing out mu, and n. So mu is already given to us, that we have noted down is 65. How many samples we have worked with? They are 10. And what is mean? Mean is to be calculated. Correct. It's not given, we have to calculate it. So let us use the formula AVERAGE, starter bracket. You have to enter the values. Either I can scroll it, or we know the 10 values are there, and it's going from A1 to A10. A means I am working with the A column. Here you can see all the values is written in the first column, and up to A10. So if I press enter, it's coming as 67.5. If we talk about the standard deviation is equal to STDEV bracket, and again the cell address is, we are getting A1 colon, it's A10. Correct. Complete the bracket, press enter. Okay, press enter. We are getting 2.79. so now we have the values of x, we have the value of s, mu, and n. So how we have to calculate? Again, let us calculate the numerator part, let us calculate the denominator part, and then we have to calculate t. So numerator, if we go for, it is equal to x bar minus mu is equal to x bar, means this I have to click the value, minus mu is this one, press enter. This is my numerator. Denominator means we have is equal to s, As I have calculated as this value C2 written as S divided by SQRT square root of N, and we have stored here. So if I complete the bracket, press enter, we are getting a value. And what is T? T is x y minus mu divided by S by under root N, and be sure that y we are taking numerator and denominator so that you will not confuse regarding where to take under root n. Correct? So it is equal to numerator divided by denominator. Sorry, it's the value of this. It's not, sometimes student do this mistake also, as I have done. I have clicked NUM and DEN, so it is actually not the value. For value I have to click the value, it's not the text. So if I press enter, we are getting the value 2.824. So this is the whole calculation. Let's go back, and here you can see the testing is coming as 2.82. Correct? So this practical we have done the t-test for one mean. The next topic is difference of two means. So for that I will upload another video. For the time being, practice the t-test for the one mean in your Excel sheet if you have laptop, or the Android Open Office where you can use the spreadsheet. Thank you, and be sure to practice it.